Hi everyone, myself Chaitanya Vadavalli, Destination at USA from UniXperts. Today I would like to introduce Mr. Andrew Ang, Associate Director, Program Sales and Marketing, South Asia. So we will be discussing a lot more about like Cleveland State University and other universities under Shorelight and why USA, what are the current situations, and about online learning, CPT and OPT options, and why US is an international student's first choice. So I would like to update you on upcoming events as well in between. So it's over to Mr. Andrew.
Perfect. Well, once again, thank you all so much for the warm welcome to our audience globally out there, virtually out there. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here as well, and for you to get a little bit more of an insight on what are some of the requirements that whether you're looking to apply for undergraduate programs or graduate programs, what the conditions are like, what is the ambiance, the environment, what can you expect as well on campus throughout whether it's summer or for fall intake. So excited to talk to you more about all of those amazing opportunities, as well as the active engagement that you will not only have, whether it's at CSU or within Shorelight portfolios, but also within our amazing, session today as well.
Thank you.
Cool. So I kind of wanted to get a head start and kind of talk to you first about just what is Shorelight, as well as a partnership with Cleveland State University. So Shorelight itself is an organization that helps international students study at some of the top tier US destination universities, as well as bring university programs to students abroad. So one of the great partnerships we have within Cleveland State University, which is located in the great state of Ohio, is numerous program offerings for undergraduate students, as well as graduate STEM designated majors for any of our students looking to pursue a master's degree. So some of the most popular majors in terms of undergraduate programs within the university, you're looking at programs within the College of Business, whether it's from accounting all the way down to international systems, management, etc. Within the health professions, if you're looking to maybe study pre-med in the future and you're looking for a degree in, let's say, biology or biological sciences or chemistry, etc., as well as numerous engineering majors all across the scope for undergraduate programs, and then a wide range of, as I mentioned before, STEM designated majors for graduate degree offerings. If you are looking more for a major within, let's say, College of Business that is STEM designated, you have MIS or Masters of Information Systems. Within the College of Engineering, we have amazing majors in computer science, engineering mechanics, software engineering, electrical engineering, civil, mechanical, environmental, biomedical, chemical, such a wide plethora of available options for you. So I'm excited for you to become a CSU Viking. So some of the, I think, questions that a lot of students have asked are, well, what intakes can I apply, right, for these particular majors?
Yeah, what are the major intakes?
Yeah. So every university is very different, and this is not just Cleveland itself, but just globally. Every university has different entry requirements, as well as intake requirements. So when you're talking about, let's say, undergraduate programs at Cleveland State University, we have two particular intakes: fall semester, which begins in August, as well as spring semester, which begins in January. So two main intakes: we have fall and we have spring for undergraduate programs. For our graduate programs, they're generally available in fall and spring. However, we have two amazing majors at CSU. One is MIS, as I mentioned, Information Systems, which is STEM approved, from the College of Business, which is available in the summer, fall, and spring. So if you're looking to kickstart your academic career and not wait until fall, perfect, you got MIS. The second option you have is Computer Science, which are available for all 3 semester intakes.
Okay. What are the entry criteria requirements for both UG and PG?
Yeah, great question. I love it. So one of the things that a lot of times students ask is, what is the US GPA requirement? And then how does that correlate to my entry requirement from an undergraduate degree within my high school transcripts? So within a US GPA scale, each major is a little bit different depending on which major you're looking to study. For example, within CSU, most of the majors require a 2.3 US GPA, which equates or equals to about a 45 out of 100, except for engineering programs. For undergraduate majors, which requires at least a 3.0 or a 55 out of 100. And that's for undergraduate programs. For graduate programs, roughly, if you have a 55 out of 100 overall, or a 6.5 out of 10 within a four-year degree, CSU requires 16 years of education. And if you have 55 or above or 6.5 or above, you're good to go for your academic entry. If you have a little bit below, but you graduated from a tier 1 or tier 2 university, we can work on you on a case-by-case for admission as well.
Okay, and most interesting question for all the parents looking forward, like what about the fee structure and as well as scholarship options for them?
Yeah, absolutely. And so this is obviously tuition cost, fees cost. Those are questions that is not just for international students, but also for domestic students. Every parent, every student always asks that particular question. And that's an amazing question that everyone should be asking. I know when I was studying, my family also asked, well, how much is that costing? So one of the important things to keep in mind first as a state, so the university is located within Ohio, and the state of Ohio is actually ranked number 2 for most affordable states in the US. Why is that important? Because it's not just tuition costs, but also housing, living expenses that all students should have to kind of budget, as well as parents. So it's really important to, once again, pick universities that are not only cost affordable from a tuition, which CSU is, but also within a city, within a state is very affordable. So as I mentioned, Ohio, number 2 for most affordable states, and Cleveland as a city, out of all the cities in the US, is ranked number 16 for most affordable city, which is fantastic because it gives a lot of opportunities. So our undergraduate tuition cost for CSU students, roughly it's about a little over $17,000 for 2 semesters, or annual cost, which will be like fall, for example. And we have scholarships up to $1,600 or $1,600 per year. These are for our merit-based scholarships for our high-achieving students. And one other additional amazing, great aspect of CSU for tuition cost is that for domestic students and international students, CSU as an institution implements what's called a tuition price lock, which means the tuition that you pay, that will be what you'll be paying per year. It will not increase. And that's an amazing aspect because most universities increase tuition 2 to 3% every year. CSU does not for undergraduate international students. So that was undergraduate cost. For graduate cost, depending on your major, it can range. The average tuition cost can be between $31,000 to about $40,000, kind of depending on what type of major you're looking to pursue. In the US, the tuition cost equals how many credits or how many courses you have to take to graduate, and that can kind of fluctuate per major.
Exactly. And moreover, like in all the social medias, everyone are talking about waiver on GRE and GMATs while applying to all the universities here. They are getting a lot of questionnaires like that. So what is the minimum requirements for the IELTS as well as GRE waivers, or what are the GRE requirements for that?
Yeah, absolutely. So for both programs, undergraduate and major degree offerings, one key aspect that's required for your admission is an English proficiency exam. So whether it's IELTS, TOEFL, 2 most common ones. In the fall semester and the summer for computer science and MIS for the masters, we are accepting Duolingo, which is about 100 or above. For summer, fall, and for all feature intakes, IELTS and TOEFL will be the acceptable entry exams. And for IELTS, will require at least a 6.0, nothing less than 5, or TOEFL 78, nothing less than 17 from an entry position. For undergraduate students, I'm happy to say that CSU has once again confirmed that there are SAT waivers in place, so that once again, we'll be looking at your overall high school transcripts, your 10th and 12th average, along with your English assessment. For graduate students, for the fall intake, there will be no GRE requirements for those particular majors, as I mentioned. We're institutionalizing a GRE waiver in place for the fall intake, so don't delay. Make sure you apply as soon as possible for summer, for MIS, NCS, or for fall for the other remaining majors.
Yeah. Andrew, we got a question from the one of the one. So, what are the total? How many credits are there to complete a master's degree? There is a question from one of our students. Can you please update on that?
Yeah, so the credits for MS will really depend, once again, on the particular major. So MS, or Master of Science, is a degree, and then you have your specific major. So for example, let's say you want to have a degree in, let's say, civil engineering, which is a 30 credit program. Then tuition cost is roughly about 33,300 for the entire two-year program. 30 credits. Let's say that your tuition, the major that you want to apply for is in electrical engineering, which is about 32 credits. Then tuition cost is 35,170. If it's computer science and you don't have prerequisites, also 32 credits, 35,000. So roughly depends on how many credits per specific major. Great question.
Excellent. So, how about the turnaround time and what is the application process at Cleveland? So,
yeah,
please update on that.
Absolutely. So working closely once again with our amazing partners here, as well as my colleagues from UniXperts, you'll be waived off the application fee. In terms of turnaround time, if nothing is missing, as in make sure you submit all your documents, not submit one document each particular day, because obviously that would drag on the decision time. But within a week or less, generally students receive within 48 to 72 hours, unless it goes for additional review, as in, let's say your GPA is a little bit less than the requirement, or maybe the major you studied doesn't necessarily match what is approved. We can still submit it for subjective review, which can take additional days. But if nothing is missing, no irregularities, then roughly between 48 to 72 hours.
Okay. I think almost we covered about like Cleveland State, and if you can tell us about why US is highly preferred as a preferred destination for the students, and what are the benefits studying in Ohio? Is there a particular thing over there? Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So those particular questions can be all lumped into one session that I'll talk about right now. Because one of the great aspects of whether it's studying in Ohio or studying in the US, some of those go hand in hand. So the US just as an ideal destination, whether, sometimes students and parents ask me, how is the US during the times of COVID-19? Whether it's COVID-19 or even before COVID-19, the US has consistently been the destination for international students, because you have a key focus on diversity, inclusion, opportunities available in the US. When you're looking about just potential job growth, industry growth, compared to a lot of other countries that are once again smaller in size than the US, you don't see that exponential growth. So within the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, between 2018 to 2028, opportunities as well in STEM opportunities or STEM positions are expected to grow about 10%. And that's a huge set number compared to other countries around the world, which might not also provide various opportunities. Sometimes students say, well, this particular country might have job openings, maybe 200,000. And I say 200,000, that's what you might get for 2 states, right? New York State and also California, less than that. So the New York sheer size just has so much opportunities. Ohio is a great place to study, and the US is and always has been the ideal destination. And when we're talking a little bit more about Ohio itself, it's such an amazing state, which also has a long history of innovation as well as statewide investments in numerous aspects, whether it's STEM or non-STEM, and so many opportunities for international students to also have not only challenging academic for their professional and academic growth, but also amazing work experience. And once again, not only for the cost affordability factor, the positions, the growth, the diversity, the inclusion you all have within Cleveland State University and Ohio, it just makes it such an ideal destination. And one other aspect that you mentioned just about opportunities in the US, as well as for what those opportunities are. So when you are a current student, as in you are currently enrolled and you've begun your studies, roughly after 9 months, students then can request to do what's called internships or CPT. CPT stands for Curricular Practical Training, which means that you'll be doing placements when you're a current student. When you graduate, then you can apply for what's called Optional Practical Training or OPT. And each different major has a different time frame of when you can pursue your employment in that OPT category. So if you are studying in a major that is a non-STEM major, then students can work up to 1 year before they have to pursue other higher educational studies or etc. Or look for H-1Bs, for example. If you studied in a major that is STEM designated, and all the ones I mentioned before are STEM designated, then your chances to secure opportunities, once again, OPT, increases, but you also have that extension because STEM students can work an additional 24 months on top of the 12 months they receive, which is a total of 36 months or 3 years, which is amazing that you don't really get across many different countries.
Okay, and what about the precautions that student has to take care while traveling to USA? Is there any specific care taken to our international students traveling to Cleveland directly? Is there any associations kind of thing?
Yep.
Can you update on as
Yeah,
well?
great questions. One of the things that I get asked a lot was, well, how does education look like on campus? How does it looking like at universities, and how is it looking like specifically for Cleveland? So when you look back, towards last year, in fall 2020, which was the fall semester, we had students come on campus, and we had what's called blended learning, where students had in-person classes and they also had some online portions. In the spring semester, spring 2021, which is in January, so about 2 months ago, we had about 300 plus students come from South Asia alone, not including all the other countries, and as well as huge range of domestic students that came to campus. Also, once again, we're able to study in-person classes and have hybrid modules. And that will be the same for the summer as well as the fall. So one of the great aspects within Cleveland itself, as a university, numerous partnerships that we have also with our health center, as well as numerous health facilities around the university itself, that our health center is also designated as a vaccine federally sponsored vaccine location, which means that individuals can go and receive vaccines on campus as well, which provides opportunities for not only CSU students, but also the community. We work hand in hand for that opportunity. But in terms of classes, our students were able to have in-person classes while also being safe. Classrooms were sterilized before and after, numerous temperature screenings, mask mandate within the whole state itself, as well as the city, and everyone in the community obviously is wearing masks to make sure that, once again, everyone has those precautionary components. And even before the first day of classes, whether you're an international student, whether you are a domestic student, each student were asked to self-isolate for 14 days, self-quarantine before coming to campus to make sure that everyone, once again, is safe. And we have not had any outbreaks, which is great because not only the university takes precaution, but that our students and faculty are also following the regulations, and has been really ideal for all students.
Okay, as you said, like they are taking care of. Is there any particular things that students need to take from while traveling to US? Is there any particular precautions they have to take? Like they have to go with any COVID test, or they need any vaccination kind of thing before travel itself? Is there any kind of particular things or there like precautions for them?
Yeah, so I mean, most students generally do take PCR tests or take a COVID test to see even before they go on the airplane. Generally, once you secure your visa and you're looking to secure your flight, I always recommend students to check the regulations of that particular airline, because I know that every airline has different regulations. If you have a layover in a different city before you come to the US, that particular layover might have a specific COVID-19 restriction or requirement. So it's always good to make sure you know all of that before you even enter on the plane, what are the requirements for that particular location itself. And then in terms of in the US, generally, once again, students will be asked to self quarantine for those 14 specific dates. In terms of, I know there was a question about just the flexibility of the credit system. So within your studies, you obviously will have to take at least minimum of 1 in-person classes because that correlates to your F1 student visa. But then students had a little bit of flexibility. Some students want to take more in-person, no issues. Some students want to take 1 in person, maybe 2 blended, no issues. Some want to do in person, online, blended. I mean, you have that kind of flexibility. You'll be working closely with your academic advisor, not just for Cleveland State University, but depending on what university you apply to, you'll be working closely with your academic advisor to make sure that you as an international student are safe and sound, but also are fully compliant with the regulations. And every university will be working closely with you.
So coming to Cleveland, what are the? Can you update us on accreditation for the university? What are the accreditations that the university is having?
I'm sorry, would you mind repeating the question?
Accreditations.
Oh, accreditations?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, great questions. So and what I'll also do is post on the channel here some of those, just our main page for you to take a look at, and you can also search for those encompassing factors. Give me 1 second, and I'll also post on the chat box. So for my students out there, once again, you're more than welcome to take a look at that particular link for those particular accreditations. But let's look at it first from the College of Business, which depends on what major you're looking for. We have direct association with, we are as a business department, what's called AACSB accredited, which means that the department is the AACSB accreditation is the golden tier mark of academic excellence, as well as international mark of excellence for students studying business. So it's awarded only to the top business programs across the world. So essentially, when students are looking to apply to business program, they should be looking to study at that particular university, because that university will then provide not only a strong focus on academics, but also you are safe and secure that your placements will also have numerous opportunities. They're able to have that engagement. They're able to have those partnerships, lecture series that those universities provide, which is that AACSB accreditation. In terms of for undergraduate and graduate programs within the College of Engineering specifically, we have accreditations within what's called ABIT accreditation, which is for the Engineering Accreditation Commission. For engineering, once again, engineering majors within computer science, computing. We also accredited within ABIT, the computing accreditation component of ABIT, as well as engineering technology. So ABIT, ABET is actually the gold standard for engineering, accreditation.
Can you please elaborate on even lifestyle in on-campus, a student or for off-campus? Can you tell about the accommodation part over there? I mean, COVID situations, most of the people are just thinking about the even accommodation as well.
Yep, of course.
Can you? Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So on campus, and once again, for undergraduate students, the first year on campus requirements are generally compulsory, because it also helps for your engagement, your kind of, I would say, immersion into not only the community, but also a foreign country itself. So a lot of undergraduate students, once again, are required to live on campus. And it really depends, once again, which options you choose. But one of the great aspects of on campus was that we were able to also really help students find various meal plans. We're able to also really cater towards making sure that they felt safe, that they had supplies for them. A lot of students, once again, might go from class to go home, or the residence hall, class residence hall. Once again, so we want to make sure that students felt safe, they felt secure, as well as had the support needed to also, academic support, but also from a kind of matriculation into the community itself. In terms of our graduate students, we're looking for housing, and all of our graduate students obviously have housing. Most students, I would say about 95%, prefer to live off campus, because graduate students, once again, have that flexibility. So a lot of our students, prior to even arriving on campus, they attended our pre-departure webinars where they were able to meet other students who are also in similar, some similar communities, similar areas of origin. Some students were able to connect with different students from the same major, but coming from different countries, and they're able to find accommodations together. So once you receive your offer and you have your visa and you're looking to then come abroad, to Cleveland, you'll also be part of the pre-departure webinar, which all of our students, undergrad and graduate students attend. And you can also connect with not just new students, but also current students. We have numerous graduate advisors who also are part of our CSU Global team who are international students who, just like yourself, came abroad a semester ago or 2 semesters. Some came about a year and a half ago, and they really help students with all those off-campus inquiries, support, questions, and all of that. But great support that you have on campus, and we also have numerous off-campus housing resources that you can also find available on our university website.
Okay, and we have one more question from Sai Venkat. So in the first year, he is asking that whether the courses that are offered by the university or he can select courses. He's asking from
Yes.
the university point of view. Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll pick whichever courses, once again, that you are looking for. Every major, once again, is different depending on what courses you're looking to take. There might be obviously some classes you might not be able to take your first semester because you might have a prerequisite. That depends per student. As in, like, let's say you want to take an elective, you would have to first do your common core classes first before you take certain classes. So your core classes are generally what all students take the first semester, and then students will take specializations, some in their second semester, some in their third semester, depending on each student. But you'll be working closely once again with the advisor.
We discussed about like online learning and blended. So can you please a little bit elaborate on the benefits for the students who are going for an online and blended learning things?
Yeah, so one of the aspects, especially with I would say Cleveland and CSU, is that once again we have all 3 available options. It depends once again on what particular class time the student is looking for, as well as what particular subject they're looking to take. But with blended learning, it's very similar to what's called hybrid learning, where you will have some in person, or you'll come on campus for certain criteria. It might be exams, quizzes, it might be a lecture, and you also have some content that is online. Online does not mean that you just watch videos. Online means that your classes are held remotely, right? That's the blended component. And then fully online means that all your lectures, exams, everything is done remotely. So it really depends, once again, on each student. Some students, obviously, once again, as I mentioned, will take minimum at least 1 in person, and then some might take more, some might take less, depending on how they feel. We want students to also be comfortable and safe in their overall surroundings. Some students will pick some that are online or blended because they want to be able to study at the comfort of their own either residence hall or their off-campus housing. They want to save some money on commute. They might not want to come on campus every single time because they're also doing other things outside of the classroom, and they want the flexibility. That is one great benefit of that kind of blended and online component.
Please tell.
Sorry, and I just want to just keep in mind and keep a note that a lot of these opportunities you get on campus, as a key component with CSU, you'll be working closely with each faculty advisor within the department, and we have an amazing CSU Global team that will be able to assist you each step of the way. You have such an amazing wraparound support system in place to make sure that you have all the benefits and all of those opportunities as well. And just as a keynote before, once again, I want to make sure to highlight this so that you all don't forget. Please take advantage of our USA Applications Day and our direct meeting with my fellow colleagues and partners for universities, especially with partnership within Shorelight. There are also free processing services available within the application, as well as the application fee waiver for a quick turnaround time. For I-20s, we'll also be able to assist with scholarship assessments, on-spot assessments for availability of programs. So really an amazing kind of component So don't forget, we have two specific time frames for that particular event. We have one on the 20th of March, which is this month, don't forget, in Hyderabad.
Yeah.
And then we have the 21st in Vijayawada. So please make sure, if you have locations, please make sure to attend. You will not regret that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much. And one more thing, Andrew. Thing is actually, is there any international student associations, international students associations in on campus so that they can help with their pre-accommodation or airport pickup kind of thing services available? Anything
Yeah,
from the
great
campus?
question. Yeah, great question. I'd be happy to say that all students, once again, in plan with CS Global, you get free airport pickup. So all we ask is that you sign up in advance, right? Not hard. That's the only thing we ask.
Okay.
You register early. Don't tell us the day before, hi, my flight is tomorrow. That's a little bit challenging.
Yeah.
But once you receive your conditional offer letter, you also have a component to complete what's called a pre-arrival assessment, which means that you'll be in touch with one of our enrollment services advisor, which will be helping you, walking you through the steps of what are some of the documents to complete, I-20 documents, to receive your final offer on your I-20. Also, if you have some housing questions, they'll also give you some housing resources. I know that was also mentioned. In terms of your airport pickup, you also will then fill out what's called an airport form. And then you will have your airport pickup schedule, which will then take you to that particular or whichever destination you then enter. If you're an undergraduate student, it would probably be on campus. If you're a graduate student, whichever hotel or apartment that you are looking to, once again, have that free, service provided for you.
Yeah.
So make sure you take advantage of that as well. And in terms of associations, yes, we have International Student Association, we have the Indian Student Association, we have the Muslim Student Association. We even have a cricket team on campus. So once again, it just shows the diversity and inclusion.
Okay, and just a little bit on safety things also. What are the precautions and safety things that's on campus or around the campus? What are the safety systems that most of the parents are frequently asked questions for that, like what the safety.
Absolutely. Yeah, safety obviously is a top concern for anyone. I mean, when you're sending someone overseas for the very first time for some students, obviously that concern is in place. I can totally understand that from a parent's perspective as well. In terms of just the city itself, numerous safety patrols on campus, same thing, numerous emergency boxes. If you ever need an escort to take you to a particular classroom, maybe your class is late at night. Most students, once again, travel in groups. If you want to have someone take you, not a problem. You can just contact our campus safety patrols, and then you have student workers who will also be helping you, walk you from one place to another. And you also have, obviously, Cleveland State Police that also monitors and patrols various areas. In terms of COVID-19 safety measures, we have, obviously, sanitations. We have sterilizations happening all across the campuses. Before you even come on campus, everyone, students, faculty, staff, are asked to quarantine before coming on campus, and then obviously they will take various PCR tests for some individuals who might feel unwell. And this is something that we've been doing the last year since the fall semester, fall 2020. So this is something that is not just for spring. We've had in fall semester, students come on campus. We've had that support. We've done everything, and we've seen the amazing benefits and the opportunities that the university was able to provide students, where they were able to study, have that in-person opportunity with professors and other students, have that engagement while also being very safe. And it's been a total success in that kind of component.
Okay, like how many days for the university works? It depends on the student's credit system, or else is there any particular days that have to be on campus, or is there any this per week?
Yeah, so it will really depend on the student, which courses they pick. Some students might choose to take an in-person class maybe 2 hours a week. Then they'll be on campus 2 hours a week. Some students might say, I want to take more in-person classes. They might be there maybe 6, 8, 9 hours a week. Every student is very different depending on that particular student.
Okay, great. I think almost we covered up everything, Andrew. And Guys, as you heard about that, we are upcoming this thing upcoming application day, US application day scheduled on 20th March in Hyderabad as well as 21st March in Vijayawada, so that you can directly come and meet our experts and you can talk to the university directly, and you can place your applications for free of cost. Even application waivers are there, and processing is completely free for coming on that day. So we are you can follow us on like Facebook and Instagram as well, so that you'll get a lot of updates about our upcoming events as well. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you for your time, and it's our pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome. And once again, for all of my students
Yeah,
out there, future CSU Viking students, you have made
yeah,
you have made an amazing choice. The city
yeah.
itself, the university, our staff, our current students all welcome you. And we are so excited to see you on campus in the summer or the fall semester. Hope to see you soon.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ms. Andrew. Thank you.